What's up, YouTube? This is the serial thriller broadcast. Why the blindfold? Because justice is blind. And today I'm going to be talking about Daredevil. So even though I really didn't mind the Daredevil movie, despite most people hating it, I'm actually going to be talking about the TV show today. This TV show just came out on Netflix, and it's actually by Marvel, because the rights kind of reverted back to them after a Daredevil movie wasn't made. And this is sort of the beginning of the team-up between Marvel and Netflix as they create a few sort of self-contained TV shows that will eventually become part of a TV show type universe where they bring all the superheroes they've had shows for together in a series called The Defenders, which is kind of like Discount Avengers. This is the story of Matt Murdock, who is a lawyer in Hell's Kitchen, New York. And by night, he's the Daredevil, who goes around beating up criminals in his little district in New York and sort of waging a one-man war on crime. I was really excited when I heard about this series coming out, for two reasons. One was that I actually really like Daredevil. He's one of my favorite superheroes from Marvel. He's kind of got almost like a Batman type vibe to him. And I also like the fact that Daredevil is always sort of focused on his own little individual area of New York. His ambitions aren't huge, but he's also a blind superhero, right? So he's kind of got a lot working against him, and the fact that he does what he does is kind of the part that intrigued me about him. The second reason I was excited about this was I heard that Jeff Loeb was going to be a part of it. And he is a comic book author who I actually read some of his Daredevil series, but he also did some Batman series that I read as well, and I really like those. Now this is going to be part one of a two-part series I do on this TV show, because right now I've only watched the first 3 episodes, and there's actually 13 of them. So once I finish watching the show, I'm going to do a whole sort of overall look at what the series was like. But right now I'm pretty excited about what I've seen so far, so I want to do sort of an initial take on what I've seen. The action in this show so far is really good. It's well filmed. It's a lot of long takes where you can kind of see the stuntmen doing their work. Each hit looks real when it's happening, and they don't spare a lot of violence, which I was happy for, because Daredevil in the comics is a lot of the times a bit more of a gritty kind of superhero. He is pretty violent, and it's cool that they show that. One of the scenes, I think it was in the second episode, Daredevil kind of walks into this hallway, and the camera stays out in the hallway the whole time. And he kind of pokes his head into this door, which is the first door filled with bad guys, and he jumps in there, and then the bad guys come out from the other door, and he's thrown some guys out into the hallway. And he comes out, and it's all like one long take. It kind of reminded me of this Old Boy movie that I watched, which has this big, sort of long, choreographed, panning action scene, which was just really cool, and I was so happy to see them do something like this in this show, because I think it really made it stand out. Besides the action, there's also a lot of intrigue that's kind of kept me wanting to watch this. Because I know that Daredevil's main sort of villain is the Kingpin. Spider-Man's fought him as well, but in this case, Kingpin he's almost like a ghost. None of the people Daredevil catches want to tell them who they're working for. A lot of them don't even know his name. And by the time he's told this guy's name, which is Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, the guy who tells Daredevil immediately just commits suicide, because he knows that it's a better option than what's going to be done to him if someone finds out that he's been spreading this guy's name around. So I thought that was really intriguing and really cool, and I'd like to see where they go with that. So there's action and intrigue, but there's also human relationships in this as well, which I think are some of the, so far, a little bit weaker aspects of the show so far. I'm not a huge fan of Matt Murdock's friend, Foggy. He has his moments, and they also have the receptionist, Karen, and she kind of is involved in a case that they're working early on in their career. And those relationships are a little bit underdeveloped, I think, at this point. But the actor who plays Matt Murdock is really good, and the actor who plays Karen is really good. I'm just not sold on Foggy just yet. The really exciting scenes that aren't the action scenes when Daredevil's out fighting are actually the court scenes. So it's almost like a court case thriller type thing that they have going on where, you know, every couple episodes so far they've had some sort of court case, and it's kind of cool to see that Daredevil isn't just, you know, muscles and a mask. He's also a smart guy, and he's trying to do what he thinks is right, which is, you know, getting innocent people off the hook, because he's essentially a human lie detector. He can listen for people's heart rate because of his improved senses. In short, though, I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far, and I'm really excited to see what they do with this in the future. So, I'll give you my overall impression when I'm finished watching the whole thing, but definitely check this out. It's on Netflix right now. This has been the Serial Thriller Broadcast, and if you feel thrilled and chilled and fulfilled, hit the subscribe button and let me know what you thought in the comments below.